Welcome back. It is time for Mayor Monday. This morning we are checking in with the community hit hard by recent historic wildfires.
Estacada in Clackamas County is working to recover from the effects of the Riverside Fire, which burned just southeast of the city. And joining us live this morning to talk about the impact of that fire is Sean Drinkwine, Mayor of Estacada. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Great. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's been such a time for the community of Estacada. So, give us a recap of just the recovery efforts right now and where the city of Estacada stands in all of that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a hard recovery. We're a tourist town, and something that hit us like this in our forests, and they've damaged a lot of areas. Recovery is slower than I would like, but it is happening. We have FEMA on the ground. The governor's been out to visit our area. She's taking a look at what kind of damages we're facing in the future. This is kind of one of those economic things that's going to affect us when tourist season hits again. Considering 6 months out of the year, that's what we see a lot of financial gain from. So we haven't even begun to see the impact yet, but at the same time, from what I understand, there is insurance companies on the ground assessing the damages. They're paying the patrons their first payments and getting things started. So we're starting to see a slow recovery, but that's to be expected after this kind of tragedy.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of time-sensitive information coming out to homeowners and farmers. Anyone that has property affected is kind of on a timeline to get in touch with FEMA, right, to make sure that they're getting assistance. Is there anything the city's doing to help facilitate that?
Well, I think the city as a whole, with COVID in place, it's kind of put a damper on the way we operate. So it's been a little slower than I would hope with the disconnect. But at the same time, the city is doing everything they can to make sure that people who are facing bills and payments to water or services have been held and wait till we get back on our feet to make sure they pay that. We also have local community things like Estacada Community Watch that is helping connect people to resources and services. Like I said, FEMA's working diligently to get people, back into their homes and get their homes rebuilt. And the fire department has been an asset. They have funds that they've been handing out to displaced victims as well. So we're seeing a lot of outside groups come in. I've got to say that if it wasn't for all the people that have donated and kept everybody fed and clothed and everything else, the outpouring was just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, we're looking at video of you were actually in some of our video that we were showing there of just, community members at some of those organized, food relief
Estacada
efforts.
Community Watch. I mean, it's incredible how quickly that group organized and how much they were doing right days after the evacuations,
Yeah, exactly. I can't even begin to tell you what it was like being here and seeing the outpouring from all the different communities all over Oregon, Washington, California. We saw a major impact. I said, the heart at the end of the day in Oregon as a whole is just amazing to me. And to see Estacada on top of that in such a horrific time was surreal, you could say.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, how are residents, you've been obviously out talking with people in the community. How are people doing? How's everybody holding up in all of this?
Well, I have to say my community's got a lot of heart. They've been out there bustling and moving around with business and the holidays coming up. If you'd asked me that a week ago, I can't say that I would have been, happy. But now I'm seeing people moving around. They're trying to forget what's happened and get on with their lives. And this is very important.
Yeah, and you guys were doing all of this during a pandemic. So how was that balance with, COVID-19 concerns and then dealing with the wildfire as well?
Well, with all the smoke we've had in our area, it's been really hard for people to breathe. So masks were kind of here and there. It was really hard to maintain the COVID restrictions and still be able to breathe in our city for the longest time. But now that the air is cleared and everybody's practicing safe COVID practices, I think we're getting back on track. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a tough couple of months here for all of you in Estacada, but I know lots of people still wanting to help and reaching out. So it's been great to see. Mayor, thank you so much for the update. Thanks for joining us and best of luck to you and your community.
Well, thank you for having me. And it was great talking to you this morning.